great to have you here today. Thank you so much for giving up your weekend to spend a portion of it sitting around talking about musical theatre for the day. I possibly couldn't think of anything better than to spend a day talking about musical theatre, but I don't have any friends, so I'm happy to do that for a day, but I'm sure you all have lives and people that you care about and things that you want to go and do rather than sit around talking about musical theatre. But I promise to make it quick and informative as I possibly can. I was hired to write the syllabus when they contacted me, which was sort of late November in 2014. I was living down in Victoria at that stage, lecturing at a university, and they contacted me, asked me if I would do it. I really thought it would be a fairly easy thing to throw together, get a couple of songs, a few technical exercises, you're all good. They basically said they wanted the entire syllabus completed in 4 months, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. That'll be fine, I can do that. It was most certainly the most complicated thing I've ever done and the hardest I've worked ever in my life. So it's essentially all I did for 4 months, all day, every day, was this. The thing that made the biggest difference for me in the process was working with a sensational advisory committee. And I know that not every syllabus advisor can say that, but I really had an amazing group of people working around me who were industry leaders and people that I respected enormously, and were always there for support, advice, help, encouragement, and all of those things. And I show you our pictures just so that you can get a sense of who these people are. And of course you will know many of these people because they are absolutely leaders in musical theatre in the country, and I was excited to work with them. Of course, when you look at our photos, if you learn anything, you really learn about the marvels of Photoshop. We look fantastic. Yeah, none of us look like that, except for Lisa Marie and Kelly and Anna. They always look good. For those of you that don't know how a syllabus gets put together, there is a syllabus advisor, the person really responsible for writing the syllabus and putting it all together, which I did. But I had 2 people working either side of me who reviewed all my work. So that meant that whatever I wrote, I would then send to them. They would dissect it and send it back to me with comments and questions and all that sort of stuff, which can be a difficult process, but these people were sensational. I had Aaron Hales, who is a lecturer in voice in the musical theatre program at WAPA, who reviewed level 2 and 3. With me, he predominantly works with tertiary students and older students, and so he was ideal candidate to be the reviewer for level 2 and 3. Anna Mitsikis, who is from Melbourne and runs a very successful, very large program down there for Littlies. So she predominantly works with the very young and in musical theatre, and Anna was the reviewer on level 1. And even though I've taught Littlies and I enjoy doing that, it was great to have her as a voice in my ear reminding me about certain things along the way, which was fantastic. Below that, we had the rest of the committee who were always available for advice and help, and once the review process had happened, everything went out to the rest of the committee and they would further review it and make comment. And I just want to let you know about who these people are. Lisa Marie Parker, a very well-known performer based in Melbourne, and also runs a very successful studio down there. You can absolutely YouTube her and you'll see some of her performances. She's absolutely wonderful on stage and terrific educator. Kelly Dickerson, who is probably one of our country's leading musical directors in music theatre, and works a lot overseas, but does a lot of the professional shows as MD and extraordinary pianist herself. It was great to have her. She couldn't actually be at the first meeting, but I mean she was there, but she was via Skype because she was doing Wicked in Asia, and she spent most of the day in the green room at Wicked with people running around in costume behind her on Skype, giving us her information, which was fantastic. Paul Saby, who I'm sure you all know, who runs the musical theatre course at the Queensland Conservatorium. Martin Croft, lecturer in musical theatre at the VCA in Melbourne. Zachary Dunbar, who's originally from the UK but is now at the VCA as a senior lecturer looking after the musical theatre and theatre programs there. David Roger Smith, a well-known performer and runs a studio, terrific performer. Trevor Jones, a very well-known coach, a musical theatre coach from Melbourne, also does opera work as a coach and does some work at the VCA as well. Pat Wilson from South Australia, who runs a very large studio in South Australia, and I believe she's the president of ANETS in South Australia as well. So those were the people that I got the opportunity to work with, who came together for the first time on the 1st of December in 2014. Lots of us knew each other, but it was great for us to come together. And really from the outset, we had a very strong united purpose. We knew what we wanted from the syllabus, and we didn't have to get over any of the bumpy bits that's often happened with a committee when the first time that they come together. We really just surged straight ahead because we were pretty much all on the same page. And I'm going to fill you in during the course of the day about some of those discussions and why we arrived at certain decisions and how that happened. Okay, you ready? Feeling excited? Excellent. If I get boring and you need to stretch your legs, then just, holler. I won't be offended because, I get bored easy fast as well. So, okay.